Hello YouTube, it's Danette's Kitchen again, and I just recently received an alert through my phone that there is a winter weather advisory heading my way. A blizzard. They said starting by noon tomorrow, going through 6 p.m. on Saturday. They're expecting somewhere around 10 inches of snow. So it's going to make for an interesting time because you know what? I still have to get up and go to work in the morning. Yes, believe it or not. Um, I'll still have to get up. I'll probably get up extra early so I can get to work extra early so that when my wonderful boss is ready to say, you can go home because the weather's horrible, hopefully he'll do that around noon. So it doesn't take me hours to get home. I'm sure he'll leave early anyway. But weather is one of those reasons why I prep. That's why I make sure I have enough food or water things stored up for situations such as this. Having extra water in the refrigerator, containers of water. Some people do bottles of water. I just keep a couple of containers of water in the refrigerator. Having plenty of food, whether it be canned beans, soup, dehydrated stuff. Having plenty to eat. Plenty to keep you warm. Having good shelter if you have to go out in the cold, having what you need to be able to go out in the cold, having those essentials. I can remember when I was a little girl and there was a blizzard in the winter, and it was me and my mom and my siblings and my mom's friend that came by, and it was before the blizzard started, and then lo and behold, here we had a ton of snow. Nobody was able to go anywhere. So then we had to get into the refrigerator, freezer, look and see what was available. And what she was able to do, she ended up pulling out a big pot and making a nice big stew for us. And we looked and we gathered all our little blankets and put all our blankets together. And we sat in the living room in the middle of the floor, and we sewed all those blankets together to make one huge, amazingly warm quilt, because it got really stupidly cold. It got really cold, and the snow got really, really high, higher than I had ever seen. Now, granted, that was not where I live now, where you see a lot of snow all the time. So we learned to prepare because we were kind of thrown in a situation like somebody being thrown in the deep end of a pool. But being that we've experienced those things, that's why we're more mindful now in being prepared. And if you've watched those videos that I did before about the dehydrated food is awesome for a time like this. Because, you have your dehydrated greens. You can always add water to them, reconstitute them. Or if you want to keep them dehydrated and eat them like chips, you can have kale chips. Put a little olive oil on it, sprinkle a little salt, put it in the oven. It's delicious, and it's healthy for you, and it takes up very little space. So that's what I'm talking about. Being prepared when the weather gets crazy, because you don't know how it's going to get. You don't know if you're going to have a power outage. And if there's a power outage, what are you going to do? Do you have an alternative light source? Do you have flashlights? Candles? Do you have working batteries for your flashlights, or do you have a flashlight a hand crank flashlight, so that if you're in need, you can crank it and have the lighting that you need? It has the emergency beacon on it. It has an emergency weather radio on it. You can get those fairly cheap. Go to you can go to a thrift store and get them super cheap. That's where I found mine for a few bucks. I paid like $3 for mine, which is awesome because it works really well. Or you could end up, going to, a Radio Shack or some other place like that and getting that. But my focus is that, you want to really make sure that you have stuff together, to have things put away in a way where you know how to find everything that you need to find should an emergency come up. You want to be prepared in case you're out somewhere and you get stuck. You don't want to have one of those oh shoot moments. And you, if you're out somewhere, hopefully you have a little backpack or a sack or something on your back with a flashlight, with a bag of peanuts or whatever, a little bottle of water or something, because you need to stay hydrated even in the cold, and maybe have an alternative route to get you back home or to a place of safety. So, bad weather is hitting this way here. The weather has been crazy, crazy, crazy for the past year. Um, People are giving it all sorts of different names. All I can tell you is that this is a time that we need to be prepared. Um, so be aware, be prepared, have your stuff together now, because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We know what the weatherman says, but until tomorrow really gets here, we just need to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's and we're prepared. So, have a good night.